America is receiving her apostles, prophets, and evangelists, but it has not yet seen her Nazirites.
I got that Nazirite DNA. I said that Nazirite DNA. Cause I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. Yeah, I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. Yeah, I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. Yeah, I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. I'm a Nazirite. Yeah.
Welcome to Nazirites Rising. I'm your host once again, Joma Short, and today I have the privilege of having two wonderful people with me, Brion and Chassidi Martin.
Hello.
So I'm really glad that they're here. They're multi-talented, multifaceted people. They've helped pastor a church here in town. They're rappers, artisans, authors, parents, a lot of different titles that they hold. There's a lot going on, but I love that their hearts are to serve the Lord and to be people that are set apart and living that Nazirite lifestyle. Amen. And I've seen many young people that they have influenced or mentored or pastored, and they have implanted things to them. So I definitely want to hear more about them and their lives and have them share about some of what their passions are. And they are a married couple as well, so I also wanted to represent that. Right. You love godly. He's like, marriage, amen. Right. And God made it, and it's good. There you go.
It's all good.
Yes.
Amen.
So I just wanted to kind of open up and have you share. So this is Brion, this is Chassidi. Can you just share a little bit about what God's doing with you guys here right now in Waterloo?
You can go first if you want to.
Yeah, well, there's a lot, actually. I feel that our lives are really full. You know, we have a really full life, full plate and full life. You know, yeah, you mentioned some of the things. I want to clarify that there's only one rapper sitting here. I'm not. I did the So-Gone challenge. Right, I did the So-Gone challenge. Right. Right.
Chass was actually the first rapper. Like, I think I was maybe 4 when she had her rap.
Not worth mentioning.
Okay.
So there's only one rapper.
Like that MC Light type thing.
Okay. So, right, no. Anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah, so we pastor, we're associate pastors at Harvest Vineyard Church.
Okay.
And our church is a very, we call ourselves the Feet in the Street Church. We serve diverse congregation of people from all walks of life, socioeconomically, culturally diverse church. And it's a privilege and an honor to be a part of a group like that. And so we've been doing that for several years. My husband here, Brion, has several children's books that he has written and also illustrated one. Okay. And yeah, so we also try to make space for more authors like Brion who want to publish their work, but have been frustrated possibly with the traditional way of going about doing that. So we started L&L Publishing. We assist people in the self-publishing process. And we also are homeschooling parents. On top of that, we have 3 girls, like you mentioned. And we also have some music that we do. Brion co-founded Shoutmo Records. So we have a record label. We do Christian rap and try to preach the gospel in many facets.
Yeah, keep going. Find other things that we do.
Right.
I love it. Like, how about anything that you don't do? Can you let us know what that is?
Right.
No, I love that. Right. Well, okay, so first with the children's books, so you were the author of those, Brion? Okay.
Yes.
And then you illustrated one of them?
I did. It was like budget motivated, but I think it turned out really good. But
okay, do you have some of the titles for us? Or?
Yeah, actually I have several of the books right here.
Okay.
And, the first book that I published and wrote was I Wonder If They Grow Balloon Trees on the Moon. And I remember basically just trying to share the gospel with a group of like just a group of young people. And I'm thinking like all these super lofty concepts like dispensational premillennialism, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
eternal security, all these different things that I know would probably normally go over even an adult's head. So I tried to contextualize the gospel, and I told a story about like this little squirrel and his adventure, and after I preached the gospel and I used all these little anthropomorphic figures, it was like the kids got it, and I was like, all of a sudden it just kind of, there was like this little thing in the back of my mind where I knew that this approach could work. And I remember being at work looking up at the moon, and it seemed like the Holy Spirit just hit me with these ideas, and they began to flood into my heart, and I couldn't even write them down fast enough. You know what I mean? Call my wife, like, what do you think it is? I'm a grown man, mind you, so, right? What do you think of this balloon tree? But she responded really well to it, like gave me some pointers, corrected me on a few points, and I wrote it out. Looked for a literary agent, and I realized just how much of a struggle it was to actually break in, especially as a children's author, because there's so many out there. But our niche is that not only are we coming with the gospel, but we wanted to create an ethnically diverse approach to what characters who interact with Christianity could even look like. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah, I never really came across too many like Christian books that showed like black faces, at least me personally. And so I thought that that was an asset, or at least it's something that we bring that I felt like was pretty unique. And so
That's
ever
good.
since
That's
then,
needed.
yeah, I agree, because I have young daughters, and I want them to know that you have a place in this thing. You're not like you don't get fringe benefits from the gospel. No, you're right in the center of God's heart and His plan. So
Yeah, that's good. I love that. It's so perfect. I know, growing up, I didn't have many books that I can think of. I read a lot.
Right.
But I really didn't see little black girls and little black boys in the books that I was reading.
Right.
You know, and that is important for people to be able to see diversity, see yourself and see other people.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
right.
And not just one type of person in the book. So
Right.
that's really good. But then I like what you said too of using these gifts, that medium of writing and the art in the children's books and literature to kind of show them who the Lord is and get their imaginations working, and to really take these big theological concepts and make them where they can grasp
easily
onto it.
digestible, right?
Yeah.
I don't want you to choke on this thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
we
love
had
that.
that book, and ever since then, the next one to follow was another book, Chocolate Off for Me, and then My Dad, The Clouds and Me, and then some more. And I actually have a few more that are in process.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, man, we just kind of put it out there, and because I understood how difficult it is to actually get published. Some literary agents won't even represent you unless you have published work. And so just as an incentive for people to become self-published, at least so that if you are shopping and you're looking to break into the mainstream, at least you can present them with a finished product and show them that you are a capable writer. And then all of a sudden, if they feel like you have what it takes, they can take you to the next level. But some people won't even entertain you unless you have something published already.
Right.
So that's what we can offer people who are looking to share their literature with the world.
Okay, that sounds good. And what was the name again of your publishing company?
L&L Publishing.
L&L.
Yep,
Yeah.
Lion and Lamb is what we.
Okay, Lion and Lamb.
Yeah, that's in the Bible, you know.
Hey, it is. The lion and the lamb.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah, I can go off on a serious tangent with that.
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna keep it focused.
Right.
Okay, so then besides the writing of the children's books, then you mentioned music.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you said Shout Mo Records.
Yes.
And then rapping. You a rapper? But then
No. No,
She low-key right?
I do not. My rapping career ended with the So Gone challenge. I was online on
Okay,
Facebook. I'm
that's
done.
funny.
I gave it up. I'm out the game. So
She stepped back in, shut it down.
Right,
and
that's
just
it.
dropped
Then she dropped the
mic.
microphone.
Right,
Drop
she
the
dropped
mic. I'm
mic.
out.
Done.
I don't want to hurt him
Right.
now. So yeah. So no, but Shout Mo Records. You know, when I moved back here, I lived in Chicago for about 3 years, and I left with the intention of coming back to this community in Waterloo because. Long story short, this is where God's called me to. This is the city where my calling is, and I feel as though my destiny is wrapped up here in this city. So I love Waterloo, and I came back here, and the Lord put something in my heart to do a ministry, and we named it Shout Ministries. And it was based on the verse Joshua 6:16, which is shout, for the Lord has given you the city. And so we came back, and this ministry focused on doing awesome events. We brought in the 116 Click, Lecrae and those guys. We brought in Trinity 5-7. We did all these big events here in Waterloo. We also did different events, Hooping for Jesus and 5K walk runs, just different poetry nights type of things. So we did a lot of different events, and with the hopes of gathering people together. And in the space where you gather people, you're going to get people from all walks of life. And we just believe that the gospel going forth in those spaces would just overcome darkness and just advance the kingdom. And so from there, that ministry is where I met my husband, Brion. And so we met in doing ministry together. And that's how we started we became friends. And I'm sure we'll get into our connection later, but out of that ministry is where out of that Shout Ministries came Shout Mo, which is the record label that we own. And
just for those who aren't hip to the colloquial meaning, shout more. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
so we
more,
taking it to the next level, right? If you
Shout
thought we were
more.
shouting before, right? Watch how we shout more type of thing.
Because one could put 1,000 to flight. But
come
two
on. Oh,
could
come
put
on.
10,000.
There you go. That's
Wait.
right. Exactly.
Yes.
But real talk, me and my brother, we were just sitting around, and I had been gospel rapping in the community for a while. And then my brother ended up getting saved miraculously by the Lord, and then all of a sudden it was fitting for us to come together and do this thing together. And so we were just walking with the Lord anyway, you know what I'm saying? He was being discipled, I was being trained up, and we sitting back like, man, why don't we just come together and just like create a movement? Like let's do something that's beyond an event, you know what I'm saying? Let's create movements in the earth. And it just seemed appropriate that when my wife had started, what God put in her heart, that this just became an extension of that. We linked together. John the Gentile, if you don't know, I have his album down there. Man, my brother's phenomenal. And but that's how it started, man. Once we came together, we just started. This is what we did. This is how we approached it. Is we kind of thought to ourselves, let's target conflict neighborhoods, and just pulling from different people who I saw do ministry. Like this person, they talked about how they went and they served the community before they ever served them with the gospel. So I was inspired with that. So we took just different components from different ways that I saw other people doing it in excellence. And we just made that our thing. And we would show up to a neighborhood. My wife would call, get the streets blocked off. We would get noise ordinances, and we would show up. We would feed the community. We would show up the day before and clean the entire neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And then show up the next day with free food, barbecue, basketball hoops and sidewalk chalk, and let the kids play, interact, talk, and just have fun with the people. Then get up and do our thing. And the response was phenomenal. It was more than I could have even anticipated. It was the Lord really moved. We had some really amazing conversations, and it just felt like ground zero encounters where you met people in process. They weren't looking for it, but it came
to them.
Right, it came to them, and the conversations that we had. I'm talking like this one brother. He, not to beat this thing to death, but this one brother, he was on the verge. Like you could tell, he was just broken because one of his friends had been murdered, and he had been sitting here just struggling in his heart. Like, do I just let my friend's death go unchallenged? Like he felt an obligation to honor his friend by going and, you know what I mean, retaliating on his behalf. And we had showed up like day 3 type of thing, as he's wrestling with these emotions. And as we began, like after the show, we went out there, had conversations, and the brother just broke down, tears coming out of his eyes, and he was so grateful. He felt like God had met him where he was at. And then that's when I understood that this thing is divine, it's beyond us. It's something that God is using in the earth. So,
Right.
praise God.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Amen.
That's powerful that the Lord, one, that He has called you guys to a city. He's called you to Waterloo, Iowa. And that, wherever He calls you to, that's where you're going to have the most impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do other things and try and, kind of get away from it, but He's
Yeah.
like, nah, go ahead. And so
Right.
he gave you the city. And so I like that, even that method of going and reaching people right where they're at.
Yeah.
Going, playing ball, getting dirty, eating food,
Right.
and then bringing in the gospel message with this message of hope in the context of music and rap and the arts and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like a language that people speak, and sometimes you got to speak people's language.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
like if you're going to be a missionary to a small people group in India, you're not going to go show up and be like, "Hi, let me tell you about Jesus." Like they don't understand you.
Right.
But
right.
you have a media, you have a language called music, called rap, to reach
Yeah.
people who speak that language.
Isn't that what Jesus did with the parables? Even I mean, that's the gospel that we have, and that's how Christ modeled. So,
Yeah.
amen.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now I got another question about
Okay.
relationships. So,
Yes.
as you guys are ministering in this context, how did y'all go from being single and kind of like peeking at each other
Right.
to, how did that happen?
Oh,
how
my
did you guys
goodness.
start?
Well, nobody. I was doing the peeking.
Okay.
Chaz was just shutting me down, like, stay away from me. Like, who was this? And the funny thing is that Chaz was the only context I've ever interacted with my wife is leadership. She was like
Okay.
the head of the Shout Ministries thing. Like she was the head of our Bible study. She started the Bible study. She's really just a go-getter, leader, a mover, a shaker. So she was somebody who the Lord just kind of just connected me with this thing that was already in motion. You know what I mean? So I kind of went in and then kind of got in where I fit in. And I'm saying, so I'm just cool following leads, and I'm seeing they making moves, and I just began to admire her from a distance. And I always like, the only way that I can describe it is that she was like that rose on the mountain that is all the way up there. You really don't have what it takes to get there, so you just kind of just left to admire it, and that was all it was. And then the little bitty attempts that I made to kind of like reach, she like had mouse traps all around. Like, Pat, like back up. Like. So I really didn't get too far, right? It was crazy. So
Yeah, no, he was. I also admired Brion as a friend. You know,
friend zone,
3
right?
married and 3 kids later.
Right now,
I believe you.
right? But no,
Oh,
really,
Jesus.
I had no. I just didn't. The Lord, I describe it as He had a veil over my eyes or His eyes or something. I just did not see Him in that capacity. He was a friend. I always admired His faith. You know, and I had my own idea, of what my future husband would be like. And at that
6'6",
yeah,
abs.
taller than me for one thing. Taller than me. And
First of all, I'm
whatever.
not short.
He's just right. I'm tall. He's not
tall.
short. That's what we say. So anyway, I just didn't have. He wasn't quite on my radar screen yet. And then the funniest thing happened. He ended up being
The funniest thing.
no, it wasn't funny.
funniest thing.
He ended up getting in an accident
I
at
was
work.
stabbed at work.
Yeah, he was stabbed. Yeah,
Right,
he was
the
knifed.
funniest thing, man. It's crazy. Like,
He used to work at Tyson, and
Oh
he
my
was
goodness.
knifed in the stomach, and he was in the hospital.
Oh, Lord.
And somehow during that time of him and being in the hospital is when I actually went up to visit him, and God sort of just sparked a question in that space of, why not Brion? And so he asked the question, and I had to answer the question, and I had to ask myself, why not Brion? And in fact, he was the only one in my circle of friends who had his own place at that time, paying his own bills, loved Jesus more than anybody, had his own real relationship with Christ. And that's what drew me to Brion, was that his deep faith in the Lord and his just integrity and how he cared for people. He had a heart of gold. And so then I just said I would be open to him pursuing me. That's how that went.
Okay, so
And
those mouse traps kind of
I tripped them all up. Yep, I
Okay.
tripped them all, and I allowed. And then we had a courtship. We didn't date. We started kind of being open to the idea of us being more than friends in it must have been December of 2009, and then we were married in July. So we had a very short season of.
And then, so what do you mean when you say courtship? So you guys didn't really date, but like, what is the courtship?
We were
we just
really
became more intentional about our friendship. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, like, where do we want this thing to go, so that we like had like this little courtship covenant, like no public displays of affection. We couldn't be at each other's house after a certain point. But it was just like this whole, this buddy thing, it became more intentional. Okay. And I knew that Chas was, what really kind of sparked it was like, I went to her job one day, we just sitting there talking to her, and this couple came in, and we just started sharing the gospel. And it was like, I took the dude, Chas took the female, the young lady there. And it was like, I just looked up and just saw like this team situation. And it was like, okay, like, okay. And it was just like little things along the way that kind of really sealed the deal. And when I finally like got up the nerve to like, hey, like I like you, like you like me, no, I like you type thing. And I was, I don't even know if there's a word for it, but she basically reciprocated,
right?
Though my sentiments, and it was like, wow, like, no, you like me too, like, and then we just started being intentional about just where this thing would look like moving forward.
Yeah, and, we tried to make sure that we were, we wanted to be careful at how we minister to others with our relationship right from the beginning. That's why we didn't do PDAs, because nowadays you say girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, and any number of things come to mind. Right. So we said, we're going to just, until we're engaged, you know, until you propose to me, then we're friends with a goal in mind. You know, so we really didn't we tried to keep everything pure. We had our first kiss on our wedding day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so we tried to just honor God in that capacity, so that we were not giving way to the enemy to move around in that space. You know, it was challenging.
God, I'm trying to tell you, it was beautiful when it happened. It was ugly going through it. It was terrible.
I can't imagine. I'm married, and I know it got, once you get engaged, it's like, woo.
We already know everything is just,
we got this thing about March, like March was just lingering. Like, you know that person you try to put out your house and they like forget their keys and they forget their wallet. Like, when you go March, like, we got July to get to it. It was just, it seemed like the months started lingering after we let it be made known that we wanted to, after I proposed to her, she said yes. And so, that was, amen. Good,
not easy, but good.
Oh,
yes. The Lord is so good. Yeah, I mean, it's very rare. I've only met one couple that, at least that I know so far, that they actually had their first kiss on their wedding day.
Amen.
And so that's just powerful, and that's beautiful. That's something that I want to encourage people to do. It's like you're not missing out on anything by waiting until you get married to be intimate, to have sex, to even, you know, stuff like kissing, you know.
You'll never regret it. You have a whole lifetime together to do that. And I always tell young women, if he really loves you, then you're not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
You know, you don't have to do anything or say anything or try to keep him in any way physically. So,
Okay, amen. Well, we're going to hear more from this couple actually on our next episode. There's going to be some talk about their music videos and some more questions that we have for them. So thanks for tuning in today, and we will see you later.
Technician. Say jump, 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 jump. But we got that good. That's that salvation, the blessed assurance. I was scheduled to see that furnace, but Jesus showed me mercy and understood. I was a wretch to the lowest order, border, schizophrenic disorder, a sort of a liquor sick with 6 order. Even if I could, I won't relent and I will not stop. Thanking God for the man I am, praising God for the man I'm not, and I wish they would. Try to shut me down and to keep me quiet, I can't be still and I won't be silent. Jesus is here, so I start a riot. So talk to your cousin, tell him talk to your mama, tell him we ain't come for that gossip, tell him we ain't chill for that drama. Nuts up. His name, go, Jesus. Go and lift your Bibles in the hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
trying to be in your business, that's just part of being a Christian. I love you, bro, so I witness.
It's off the chain.
You've never seen a love like this. Broken people come and get fixed. He was a peasant, now he's a prince.
Jesus reign.
And we got the long end of his grace. He was crucified in our place, crown of thorns jammed in his face.
And he beat the grave.
And he did it all when he resurrected. Wretched men can receive perfection through his grace and manifold blessings. So,
Talk to your cousin, tell him how to talk to your mama. Tell him we ain't come for that gossip, tell him we ain't chill for that drama.
No,
We
sir.
came to give him all praise.
His praise.
We came to lift up his name.
His name.
Go, 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 go.
Jesus.
Go and lift your Bibles in the
hey, yo, yo, 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 hey, yo, yo. Oh, damn, 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 oh, damn, damn, here we go. Oh, damn, damn, here we go. Oh, damn, damn. Jesus is the only thing we need. He can take a sinner, make him clean, even make the dead man breathe. One touch can change everything. He'll make you new. He'll make you new. He'll make you new. He'll make you new. Your situation, he'll make you new. Orientation, he'll make you new. Incarceration, he'll make you new. He'll make you new.
Lord, use me like Elijah, like you did Isaiah, like John the Baptist. Fill me with your spirit, help me to lead the way. I got that DNA, I'm a Nazirite and Jesus is the only way. And I don't want religion, help me to seek your face. Take away that compromising spirit and the taste of Jezebel, and let my locks grow. Free me from the sin that got the nations in the box.